which is located down by our park. Jim Lewis is the commander of that post. He's going to present the flag, and it'll be the flag waving. Flag raising, excuse me.
How you doing?
Everybody please stand, salute the flag.
Attention. Salute.
You can be seated.
This is entitled The Ragged Old Flag. I walked to a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "No, it will do for our little town." I said, "Your flagpole is leaned a little bit. That's a ragged old flag you've got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat." So I sat down. "Is this the first time you've come to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "I don't like to brag, but we are kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware, and it got powder burned when Francis Scott Key sat up watching it, writing, 'Oh, say, can you see?' And it got a little grip in New Orleans when Pakenham and Jackson tugging at its seams, and it almost fell at the Alamo Run beside the Texas flag, but she waved on. It got cut with a sword at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a bad hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low by the time that one was through. She was in Korea, Vietnam. She went where she was sent by Uncle Sam. She waved from our ships upon the briny foam, and now we've about quit waving it back here at home. And in her own good land here, she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused. And now the very government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare, and she's wearing kind of thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in, because she's been through the fire before, and she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, and we bring her down slow every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up right. On second thought, I do like to brag, because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. And so am I.
That sort of an interesting an interesting writing. We were talking about it here just a few moments ago. We're having a parade here, the 50th anniversary. And along the parade route, we saw very few people. A lot of things have changed. The people don't get out for things like this anymore. And I think probably a lot of the things that Bill recited are quite true, that we don't think that much about the flag anymore. The names of the deceased charter members at this time. Well, just be patient with me. We have about 47 of these people. Lewis Ayton, William Barber. Okay. All set, Bill?
Go ahead.
Lewis Ayton,
Absent.
William Barber,
Absent.
Earl Bean,
Absent.
Alfred Bloomquist,
Absent.
Kenneth Brown,
Absent.
Jess Cole,
Absent.
Francis Corwin,
Absent.
Glenn Darrow,
Absent.
Clarence Davison,
Absent.
Charles Edwards,
Absent.
William Ellis,
Absent.
William Fairbrother,
Absent.
Ralph Faz,
Absent.
Fred Fedora,
Absent.
John Fitzgerald,
Absent.
Charles Gould,
Absent.
Basil Green,
Absent.
Sidney Harvey,
Absent.
Willard Haas,
Absent.
Frank Haas,
Absent.
Floyd Hickling,
Absent.
Earl Hillis,
Absent.
Arnold Hughes,
Absent.
Gordon Honley,
Absent.
James Jenks,
Absent.
Hoy Johnson,
Absent.
Frank Kellum,
Absent.
Fred Ketchum,
Absent.
Warren Lake,
Absent.
Ray Landon,
Absent.
Lyman Lewis,
Absent.
Paul McCormick,
Absent.
George Michaels,
Absent.
John Rounds,
Absent.
Leo Rott,
Absent.
Romeo Smith,
Absent.
Charles Spence,
Absent.
Ray Stark,
Absent.
Claire Stark,
Absent.
Harry Striley,
Absent.
George Sumner,
Absent.
Ralph Transu,
Absent.
Roy Wade,
Absent.
Charles Warple,
Absent.
Willis Warner,
Absent.
Harold Webb,
Absent.
Charles Warwick. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. We have two charters in this station. One of them was signed with the one that's at the courthouse. The names on that charter represent the number of people that were at a meeting when they decided to put the charter in. Later on, they had a meeting of most all of the men in the community at that time, and that represents all the names that I read here. The charter at the courthouse does not include all of these names, but that does not mean that there were not charter members. I'd like to introduce President of the Auxiliary at this time, Carol Goon, and her assistant, Darlene. Okay, Darlene Sindo, Carol Goon. Carol's president, Darlene's assistant.
Thank you. We want to recognize two of our members that are no longer with us either, and that's Lois Johnston, absent, and Carmen Warwick, absent.
Could we all bow our heads in a moment of prayer, please? Father God, we just bow our heads here a moment in your presence. We feel your presence. We know you are here. We are aware of all of the blessings that you bestow on us each and every day. There's no way we can thank you enough, Father, for the blessings that you've given us here in this fire department. 50 years ago, there were few men in this community began to recognize a need. And it seems as though, all down through history, one of the really great things we've had about this country, Father, is that there's always been men that seem to be in the right place at the right time. This is not an accident. You've blessed all of us. You've blessed this country beyond any words that we can give in thanks. I don't really feel that God is looking to us to acknowledge these thanks every minute of the day. All He is asking for us is obedience. Obedience to walk, obedience to do, and obedience to respond to help for our neighbors. And that's one of the great things about a volunteer fire department. We'd like to thank all the people in this town for their support, the auxiliary, and the guys that helped put this little ceremony together today. We thank you, Father. In the name of Christ, we just thank you. And thank you for blessing us. Amen. We have a few introductions in order. One comment I would like to make, Rose Spairbrook. We have three, right? Rose, Sandy, and Joyce. Rose will come at this time, and I'm sure she'll have a word or two for us, and then she will present awards.
Thank you for inviting me. Sandy and Joyce, Sandy Tillotson, Joyce Hochdorfer, also representing the town board. It's a pleasure to be here to honor those that are gone before us, and we certainly pay tribute to them. But I would like to extend our personal thanks to all of you for what you do in the town. There's no way that we can adequately thank the men and the women of our fire companies. You're very special to us. Not only do you protect us, but you're there for whenever anyone has any problems. We have examples of that just in this past month with Art Kittle and what's happened to him. You're just great people, and what can we say to make you feel that we do appreciate what you do? This is 50 years of dedicated service by all of you. We want you to know that we need you, and we do thank you very, very much for everything that you provide to us in the town. At this time, I would award the charter members their certificate of appreciation. It's just a very, very small thank you for what you people have done for us. The first will be Mr. Ernest Hotchkiss, and it's so nice that Mr. Hotchkiss is here visiting with us today from the nursing home. Thank you for coming. Mr. Paul Kettner. Mr. Clifton Rounds. Mr. Elmer Stradley. Mr. Nelson Wakely. Thank you for being here, Mr. Wakely. You people are the people that had the foresight to bring volunteer fire department to our area, and we thank you very, very much. You're very special to us.
I lose? There we go. I'll fall off in here next.
No, if you didn't want anyone to hear you, you turned it off.
Right now we have an award for one of our more special type guys. He hasn't been in the department all that many years, but every place that he goes, he stirs up a lot of dust and a lot of commotion, and he carries a 10-gauge double-barrel shotgun to let you know right where he is all the time. Bob Nashaka is coming up now to introduce you to this young man.
We had a little recognition for this gentleman about 4 weeks ago, but this certain little gift didn't show up. Earl Lewis, will you come up here? Earl Lewis joined in September of 1965, and as you know, today is June 1988. Approximately 23 years he served the Vestal Fire Department. He was our financial secretary, he was our treasurer, and he watched over our funds year after year. And he did make us a lot of money in interest. We quickly did a little calculation, and I believe in about 10 years he made us close to $20,000 just in our interest alone. We kind of nagged at him and he nagged at us, but he is leaving us. He is going south, I do believe tomorrow morning, so we made it, finally made it. Earl, this is to you. Thank you very, very much.
The weather turned out fairly decent for us today, and I did a little checking to find out why at certain times and certain things going on, after a lot of rain, it just stops. And it seems that a number of years ago, Rose went on a camping trip. And I don't know if this was their first camping trip or not, but anyway, they had all the stuff, the tent and the whole schmear. It was raining Friday, and it was raining Saturday, it was raining Sunday, and it was raining all night. She got thoroughly disgusted with this type of an operation, and when it began to lightning, the lightning, thunder and all that, she went over in a car. Wouldn't even go back in a tent. And it seems now that ever since that time, when Rose has something to do on Saturday, it doesn't dare rain. Is that right? These gentlemen over here on my right are the officers of our department, stations 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, we have 6 here. Normally there's 6 here, and well, we got 8. Okay, we have 8 out of 12, which is very good. These are the gentlemen that actually run our department. They make the decisions and decide on the budget and things of that kind. Right now, I'd like to introduce our chief, Ed Zimmer.
I got my speech in the back of my hand, so it won't take long. There probably weren't too many of us here 50 years ago when Station 2 was originated. Rose told me she was in kindergarten. I don't know. Volunteerism, fortunately, is still alive and well as we perceive it today. Hopefully it will be the same at the turn of the century. We're continually looking for support. We do get it from the town, from our town people, and I would especially like to thank our town board, which is the Board of Fire Commissioners. They have been behind us 100%. As long as I've been in the chief 9 years, and I've had excellent support from that group, and I'd like to show them my appreciation. I believe they're checking on. I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to shut up.
Jim? thank all the fellows that worked on this. Jim Lewis was sort of the head man, and he does love to lead a parade. We're talking about the 50-year people standing right over in back of the semi here. Jim Lewis, Ray Warwick, and Bill Oliver. Then myself. We're the senior citizen types now. Ray joined in 1941. Bill Oliver in 55, 44. So there's a few years there, people. And the great part of it is we're still here. And we... Every time that silly thing up there starts making noise, we don't know any better than to get up and come running and go out and try to do our thing. No, it's really great, and we're very thankful that we're able to do this. The firemen, volunteer firemen, have a creed. I would like to recite it for you. After I finish with this, the people on the platform will go inside for the chicken barbecue. And after all the uniform people and the dignitaries go in, while other people go on in, and we will have a good barbecue. Fireman's creed goes like this: to inculcate love of country, good citizenship, civic virtue, self-sacrifice, and to perpetuate the spirit which from the earliest times has actuated volunteer firemen in a rendition of duty of the highest type and the protection of life and property from fire without the hope of fear reward. Every one of us guys believe this, and thank you again for coming.
That's like researching your difference between my sister. There was a brother.
Wait to take her.